The Forgotten Minotaur King. Side Story. Kind's Journey. Part 4. Kind sat, saddled on the back of his enormous bovine mount, Boss Garas, as he inquired to the Oni Samurai, Aoba Josai, the fastest route to Monshen from this Kintsugi rest stop.
Now, what would lead a nice Minotaur gentleman such as yourself to want to journey out there? Can't say we've seen many of your type in the past.
Kind sensed the mildly xenophobic hint to the Blue Oni's questioning, but being a mayor of a town the size of Goldenrod hadn't given him a very negative opinion of untrusting authority figures. Humbly, Kind elaborated that he was on a journey to seek aid in the defense of his kingdom. That was why he traveled and separated ways with the Tsukio Knights band to this very location. At the mention of the Knights, a wistful expression passed over Aoba's face.
Ah, aren't women just great? The things they make a man feel, huh?
Kind began to grow uncomfortable and was preparing to find another samurai authority for directions, as a purple blush flushed the Blue Oni's skin, and he continued to lasciviously stare into space. He began to turn Boss Garas around when Josai seemingly snapped from his reverie and stepped to attention.
Not so fast. You say you're headed to Monshen. Take the east road for a few miles. You'll be there when you see a city called Andron. Be careful. Many dark rumors have poured from there as of late.
Finally, with the information he needed, Kind gave the Oni a respectful bow and turned to head down the eastern road to Andron of Monshen, leaving Aoba Josai and the country of Kintsugi to his back. The walk along the eastern road, fortunately, was uneventful. The only thing of note was a traveling merchant who exchanged Kind's Goldenrod smelted silver and gold coins for the peculiar papery cotton money of Monshen. Only after some extensive haggling and the merchant explaining how the country of Monshen had done away with coin-based money, Kind had no choice but to accept the exchange rate and trust the merchant wasn't tricking him. He still kept a hefty amount of coin on his person just in case. As he continued to trek with Boss Garas, he eventually crested a plateau and saw a magnificent city of bright white marble and beautiful palm-shaped trees at its base. Coasting a sparkling blue and green sea, he had made it to Andron of Monshen. Garas and Kind descended into the coastal city and found themselves surrounded by beautiful landscape. Some of the buildings rivaled the Mindus Castle, stacked to floors Kind thought impossible. The streets were lined with happy children of races Kind had never seen. Some looked like humanoid plants with skin that looked like folded and shaped leaves. A race that looked like deer-based centaurs, complete with ornate, multi-pointed horns that could put Kind's own to shame. Among these new sights were the ever-present races such as tan-skinned humans, elves, and partial orcs. Feeling the bustling streets would be a hassle for Garas to traverse, Kind inquired to a passing gentleman for the nearest stable before venturing further to look for the necromancy source. With his Mount Goras safely put away, now was the time for Kind's investigation to begin. He began by heading to the most populated area of the city, the markets on the docks. The markets were lined with hundreds of breeds of fish Kind had never seen, and just as many unique fruits and vegetables. He told himself that when he returned to Goldinerod, he would need to look into starting trade routes with the Andronian people of Monshen. However, he knew what he needed to seek was a seller of magic items, at the very least. Past the brine and flora, Kind saw a single tented booth, huddled in a corner, out of the bright dock sunshine. He approached and entered the tent. He was immediately greeted by plumes of smoke and incense that nearly sent his sensitive snout into a sneezing fit. He rubbed his eyes clear and found himself face to face with a cloaked, hunched figure.
How may I help you? Read your fortune?
The elderly and weak voice led Kind to think this person must be an elderly woman. However, when she reached for his hand to offer a reading, the arm that came out of the cloak was completely skeletal. Kind involuntarily recoiled in shock, but then composed himself. He had no clue if this was a common occurrence in Andron.
Oh, no need to hide your shock, young man. Nothing gets under my skin.
Standing upright and removing her hooded cloak, the full skeletal body of the fortune teller was revealed.
Because I don't have any. But if you keep staring, I may have a bone to pick with you.
She rattled her teeth in laughter at her own pun. This lightened the mood a bit, but considerably confused Kind. Again, attempting to regain composure, he told her of the rattling boys he had encountered in Alazan, and the rumor that those soldiers were from this region. The skeletal woman gave a full-body gesture of exhaustion and comprehension.
Well, first of all, the name's Ava Ringbone, you rude young man. And those numbskulls you described sound like Gabe's little side gig. He's the chef over at the Spare Rib restaurant on the other side of town.
With that information, Kind thanked Ava Ringbone and was off once again. Hi, my name is Matthew Lewis, and I do the voice of Kaisel Bakshi, along with all the additional voices in The Forgotten Minotaur King. I hope you enjoy the podcast and continue to listen into the future. If you want to support my content, please donate to my Patreon, Matthew Lewis Podcasts. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Matthew Lewis Podcasts, all one word. Follow me on Twitter at Matthew Lewis P. Or leave a positive maximum star review on your podcast app of choice. If you found this podcast, I assume you're familiar enough with the genre to know how important reviews are to the survival of a channel. And I hope you recommend this to your friends. Or if you didn't like it, you could recommend it to your enemies, and I'll teach them a lesson. Keep it sleazy, folks, and thank you.